Welcome back to Walt Disney World Photo Updates. I am your host, Kevin Yee. Let's get started, where this week we are going to start at Flamingo Crossings. This, as you remember, is a development on the other side of Walt Disney World from downtown Disney, and it's meant to be kind of the same thing. Now, they have some plots opened up here where they've done some leveling of the trees and some grading of the land and installed some infrastructure. You can see a little bit of the street lamps that they've installed, and they put in stop signs and so forth. And the place is eerily empty, although you can drive through it. There's no inhabitants there yet. I believe Walgreens is the first and selected inhabitant, but they're not in there yet. This is a look at the Grand Floridian DVC. We've shown you this a few weeks on, and just to show that they've continued expanding the area that is now reduced just to sand, and they've pushed out into the lake a little bit. Here's an exciting new $20 couch pillow, Tomb Sweet Tomb, the Haunted Mansion design. This is found in the Emporium, and right next to it a Fast Pass pillow. Something tells me the Fast Pass pillows will go a little less fast than the Haunted Mansion pillows in terms of selling out. Now, this is the Snow White Mine, or the Seven Dwarves Mine shop, which is in front of Fantasyland, right next to the Snow White ride. And nothing has been said about the fate of this shop, but I thought I would look around a little bit since there's soon to be different Snow White presence on the other side of the fence there. I wasn't certain if this was going to stick around, so I thought it might be worthwhile to kind of document all the crystals and jewels encrusted around the shop and point out little bits of theme, like they have the jewels and gems and vault and so forth signs around. And there you see it again, as well as this little dwarf on an anvil at the top of the clock there. Neat little tributes and little details like that. This particular cooler, as we see, is really a mine cart. It's got fake wheels at the bottom. So I like that they go all out in even very old attractions and shops like this one. And as I said, my main job there was just to document it in case it goes away. Here's something that did not go away, much to my surprise. I expected this Robo-News character here to disappear entirely when he was gone several weeks, in fact several months ago from Tomorrowland, but it looks like he was just painted. He's come back complete with the same theme and some of the same things inside, the same details inside, so he was just given an extensive makeover and put back in place underneath the Tomorrowland People Mover, TTA. This is slightly new. Do you see what's new here? It's the flowers around the sea serpent. So if you look at the sea serpent topiary from the other side, these flowers, as if to imply this is where he's breaking through the water, that's not usually there, or at least hasn't been there in the past. On the back road from Disney's Hollywood Studios, the auxiliary entrance it's called, where the buses go in and where you can also go in for the moment, they are undergoing a road widening. So this is Buena Vista Drive, and as you drive along Buena Vista, you'll see that they're expanding dramatically here because eventually that auxiliary road will be closed and everyone will be routed around to the front of Hollywood Studios to gain entrance into the park. We visited the Magic Kingdom a few times this weekend, and every time we went, we were blown away by the volume of insects in the ceiling of the monorail station. So this is a fan, there's one blade, there's another blade of the fan, and as you see there are hundreds, thousands of mosquitoes in the ceiling of the station. So you want to be extra careful if you're in the monorail station. Now, speaking of the monorail, the big news this past week was that Monorail Red has become the Avengers monorail, or Avenger Rail, I guess you could call it. And you'll see that there are not only energy bolts in the word Avengers, there are characters along the side. These are the Marvel characters, like Captain America, Iron Man. The Hulk is there as well. And they're hard to see from this angle, but they are scattered across. And this monorail will only run on the Magic Kingdom loop, not the Epcot loop. Kim Possible will not be with us for very much longer, so if you're looking to get in that first play on Kim Possible at Epcot, or a last play perhaps, now would be the time to do it. It is slated to be replaced by Agent P from Phineas and Ferb soon. Habit Heroes remains closed more than a month after its initial scheduled opening, and in fact, if we go around the corner here and look at its wall, that's this side, and then in the next picture you see the same wall from that side as well as around on this side, the whole thing has been covered in drapes now. So I suspect there's no reason to do that unless they are changing that exterior artwork. I wonder if we won't be seeing the big bottoms, fat bottoms, whatever the big guy is that was made fun of the last time, when the curtains come down. So there's no word yet on what's happening with this attraction or when it will open, but now we finally see some movement on it, at least from the outside. This is one of the other Kim Possible stations, this one in Future World, and it has been confirmed, at least by the cast members working the station, that this infrastructure won't be going anywhere once it changes over to Agent P, just the game itself will change. Now we are here inside Imagination, and as you can see here on the sort of the slot machine that Figment goes through, normally we are going through the lemons and the various options, and the winner sign is not illuminated. They've done something with the lighting in this room here, so they need to adjust that, as well as adjust this final scene, where not only is there no wall covering the very far section of the panorama visible at the finale, but in fact all the lights come on before the wall is even all the way down. So you can see the timing is off just a little bit, and it's a small detail and a minor detail, but something they ought to be paying attention to if they can. The photo spot at the exit to Imagination used to feature actual people's faces in here. Now they've got just kind of silhouettes or cutouts where people can imagine themselves in the photo, and in many ways I can see the logic of that. You're more likely to see yourself into the picture if it's blank than trying to have to look past whoever's currently in the picture now. That does it for this week. We thank you as always for your attention, and we will catch you next time.